So I just wanted to go because we haven't connect with none of them people.
No, that was the day.
Tell him something, man.
Alhamdulillah, God is great.
Alhamdulillah. Yo, that jacket crazy. That's my man. It's no what?
There's no fashion. Everybody's wearing like big long graphic tees. They are making it back at the garage. So people don't want no brands. Like they're not asking for brands. And brands like BBC Ice Cream, people playing them joints ain't doing nothing. They're sticking to the roots, and they don't want it. You get what I'm saying? They want like baggies and fluffies and see that right now the customer is confused. They don't know what they want. Someday they come in, they want it tight skinnies. And someday they come in, they're like, yo, their baggy is better. Like, okay,
it's
shit,
definitely
make me spend money.
It's definitely an identity crisis right now, but it's always like that. It's a transition. You know, we're transitioning from one trend to the next, and there's newcomers and there's latecomers and everything. So, and then there's those are those in the middle who can go either way. They just wanted to look right on them. But this Gotham show is the first show. It's supposed to replace the Mac show, the one that used to be on Russo's by the Bay.
Oh, okay.
So those are your typical urban brands. But what makes this interesting is that they have room. Whereas those Mac shows or those MMA, we used to call Mac shows. Those Mac shows, the vendor spaces were limited. You had to have been, a Garmento in the game for 20 years just to have a space on the floor during showtime because of the real estate. It's service in New York, it's service in North Jersey, it's service in Connecticut, Philly, and people are coming up from the South too, just so they can get it first. If they believe that something's coming out here that may not even make it to the southern market. But that's what I think is interesting about Gotham is by actually giving it a name, actually giving it some branding, charging it with reps like Peter, charging it with brands like G-Star, Bob, he's the rep for G-Star too. I don't know if he still got Buffalo, but so them just bringing in those department store worthy, designer worthy, specialty boutique worthy, bringing that to the table could give it the project feel. But I still think it's going to be standard, traditional hangers and racks. And people are going to be looking for off-price, at-once, margins. So that inspiration that you're looking for, I don't think we're going to see it. But if we see a market, that's more important. If people like you are actually coming out and looking for something to buy, that's incentive enough for brands to come back the next show or the next season. So, because where else are you going to shop at? And getting into New York is hectic. Who wants to travel? Who wants to cross the bridge or the tunnel? The tolls is crazy. The parking is crazy. So to do it in Jersey is a regional dynamic that gives an advantage to reps and brands. And it might be a little cheaper to rent a booth. And the space is open. So you may get that mix of mom and pop, guy in the basement with a G-Star with. Don't be surprised if a rep has BBC in his book bag. He might have an urban brand that's there, servicing more of a chain business, but then in his bag he might have Ed Hardy or something. Ed Hardy might be here. Don't sleep. And so you got big buyers in this area. You got Downtown Locker Room, you got Snipes, you got some specialty doors. So the fact that they're branding it, I think it's gonna have an agenda feel by default. Without all of the skateboarding and all of that stuff. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for because that's who's spending money. It's the youth. I think the fact that the hoodie has become the new uniform is a safe haven for business.
That's for sure.
It's like, what you gonna do? Go out here and start trying to figure out how to give them lace as a buyer? No way. You want to give them something scalable. So that's to our advantage. So I'm with you. But again, how you gonna be edge? How you gonna be cutting edge if you're not pushing the envelope? Give me something to buy. Show me something. And I don't know which show. I think that's gonna happen in these August shows and these July shows, because people are gonna try to trap that holiday money with their best stuff. You might get a little glimpse of holiday now, just because it's so slow. It's like showing holiday. Book this now. Like what? So that'll let you know what's going on. So I think right now it's information. So you're a smarter business, and not relying on those like internet with those brand boom, new order type of email platforms for ordering brands. You want to get out here and touch it, like you said. I want to know if it's something that was well curated, well put together, well made, well fit. Let me see it. So that tradition needs to come back. People definitely got comfortable just, I ain't got to go to the trade show. I could just order it offline. It's like, yeah, but it's still a show. You got to see something wiggle, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Nike's doing really bad right now. They're losing it right and left.
And Macy's shut down like this. I just think it's a new frontier. This internet is a beast, man. And that combination of internet and brick and mortar, how those two things work for each other, is like the real balancing act. I think we're in a good space. Our social currency is pretty cool, and then the access is not difficult. But imagine, these bigger companies, what they got to do to meet those bottom lines and pay those overheads. I'd rather spend the money on a photographer and a graphic artist and a few ad campaigns and go direct to consumer. So we'll see though. I'm just glad we still here, man. I'm just glad we got the opportunity to see something. I wanted to ask you about Ed Hardy. Do you think you going to try to bring Ed Hardy in?
It was there at a moment. I'll bring True Religion before Ed Hardy right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
The Stone thing is coming in, but they're leaving it like overnight. Like the...
Oh, they hopped right off the Stone wave.
Yeah.
But what about the skull gothic tattoo wave? Like,
the skull is there, but depending what kind of skull is there.
Okay.
Like your Indian head is there right now. That's the market.
I got that in development. I should have had a sample for that like Wednesday, cut and sewn.
A big like storytelling, but graphic, like a devilish. That's what they're looking for right now. They worshiping Satan right now. The whole star type joint. Like now they're leaving that way. You know what I mean? So now